What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? It's your boy Q. Welcome to episode 2 of the BAP Be a Player podcast. As always, as I started off with, my name is Q. I am coach of now the Louisiana State Tigers, LSU. Right with me here, we got Burks, coach of USC, Commissioner BRJ, who's also the coach of Mississippi State, and today,
Texas.
replacing the always great Peters, we got one, the only, Hill, coach of the Wisconsin Badgers. How are you guys doing today?
Good, sir. How are you?
All is well. All is well.
I'm
I'm doing
great.
great.
It's great to hear you. Wait, so BRJ, you're going to be owning Texas next season, correct? Is that what you
Yes,
said?
I'm Texas. I am Texas, yes.
All right. What happened? Who's going to be taking over the Mississippi State job before we get all into it?
UCLA coach. He's my old offensive coordinator. He's over there. He already got himself a couple recruits this cycle, so good for him.
All right, it was just something I wanted to clear up because I don't think it was very clear for some people who will be watching this. Now, getting into our first topic right away, we have a lot to talk about. A lot has been happening over the past couple of days, but we're going to try to focus specifically in the league, primarily the bowl recap. Let's talk about the bowls that currently were played, more specifically the playoffs and the NY6 ones.
All right, let's start with the NY6 bowls. The Peach Bowl, Clemson destroyed UCLA. How do you guys think this win for Clemson will help them jumpstart them into the next season?
I don't know. UCLA is pretty overmatched. I mean, Clemson had a clear talent advantage, and it just shows that they're a top team in BAP for years to come, to be honest.
Yeah, I think it was the play of Najee Fields that really boosted him. He had what? He had a rushing touchdown. I think 3 passing touchdowns on the day. Plus
He
the
had
play.
a pass, a rush, 2 passes, and 1 rush.
Yeah, and it was really just the overall play of him and the Clemson defense that really just boosted him.
All right, let's get into the Orange Bowl. Miami and Penn State. Miami won that game 17-10 in a pretty good rough game. What do you guys think this does for both teams? I mean, Miami's blown up. All their seniors are gone, and Faraz is gone, and Coach Peters is gone. But what about for Penn State? What does this mean for Penn State?
Okay, so for Penn State, I really think this loss will be one that they have to take in stride. Losing this game, it's obviously something hard for them. They're a really talented team. They're 8th ranked. But next season, they're maintaining a solid core remaining coming into the following season. Hardy, I've seen him. He's been working his butt off. He's going to have a pretty solid class. Not an amazing one, but he's going to have a solid class coming into Penn State. And that's really going to be something that I think can really help them out. The loss was really close. They played a really talented team. And while Miami, they're going to have to try to use this bowl to help recruit for players and stuff, or whatever the heck they're going to do right now after the whole team's been dismantled. Penn State can say, you know what? We need to take this game, use it as a learning experience, and step up next year and see if we can challenge Northwestern for the crown in the Big Ten. Is it the Big Ten? I believe it's the Big Ten.
Yes,
Yeah,
the Big
it's the
Ten.
Big
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm
Penn
still,
State
I'm
also
still, I'm
had
still new with the
Ohio
whole
State
process.
transfer Tavon Peters at receiver. So that's gonna be big for them.
It's gonna
I
be
think
big
it'll
for them.
be a good matchup because, well, Northwestern's losing a lot of their, after reset seniors. Um,
I mean, I wouldn't
and
say
with
that. They're reloading.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, they got a few guys, but if you think about it, Penn State still has
Northwestern's pretty scary
more.
next year. We'll see.
Oh yeah, they will be. But
But they
it'll
always
be,
are. And Penn State has a good team. Barry Sanders the third, one Doak Walker. So that's definitely something big for Penn State. Adam Cooper has emerged as a top tier defensive lineman. Apollo Hughes is a great quarterback, great receiving core. Penn State should be a team to watch out for next season. Let's head to the Cotton Bowl. Arkansas, NC State. Arkansas got a come from behind victory as they beat NC State 34-28. What does this mean for both teams? 'Cause both these teams look like contenders for next year.
All right, for starters, NC State, this one must hurt. Leading against a great team in Arkansas and everything. They were leading, but all of a sudden that lead just it disappeared thanks to an amazing performance for Jovan Honda Vegan. And for NC State, like I said, for Penn State, this is when they got to take on the trot. They're bringing in a major class, and they can say, hey, you saw this loss. We don't want to repeat it this next year, and they can use it as fuel. Now, for Arkansas, This is actually pretty interesting. A bowl win to finish off the season. They also got an okay amount of recruits. They are losing some other players, but I think the key guy staying, if I remember correctly, is Jovan Hondewagen, who's currently going into his senior year, if I am correct on that. And with this huge bowl win come from behind, that's a really good momentum right into next season, where he's looking to potentially snag a Heisman in his senior season.
Burks, Hill, anything you gotta say?
Well, personally, I don't think Arkansas has the star power to compete with a bunch of these teams next year, if I'm being honest. Jovan Hondewagen is pretty much their only star, in my opinion. I mean, Nick Rhodes is a solid safety. I mean, he's losing George King, his top receiver. I mean, who else do they have in that receiving core? I think NC State's looking a little more promising next year with transfers of Drake
Well, it's
King.
not really of who's better. It's just of what can you say about both teams. But Arkansas still has Anthony Garcia, running back, who's a very versatile player. He'll make plays. Arkansas just has a bunch of unproven guys in the receiving core right now. Hopefully, one of those guys can step up. Maybe Madison can get a transfer or something. I don't know.
Yeah, Madison's really a 3-star guy if you think about it. He
But
landed.
Yeah, I agree. Honda Vegan, but I mean, Arkansas has never had history before, so it's hard for a 5-star guy to be like, oh, I want to go play for Arkansas. But Madison has shown that he can develop players, and he's done well at Arkansas so far. And next season should be a good year for them. NC State, they're looking pretty scary for next year. They lost a couple of their players, but picked up a massive load of transfers. And Drake King at quarterback, Holmes Hobo at wide receiver, Shane Fournette at running back, B.J. Henderson at linebacker, Jordan Stevens at outside linebacker, Josh Garrett DT, and most importantly, maybe Henderson's better, but Jax Bendick at cornerback is going to be huge for
Wait,
them.
Bendick and
Bendick went
Homeless
to
Hobo
NC.
went to NC State, right?
Yep, he went to NC State.
Yes,
Both
yes, yes.
I remember
crazy.
having to
I
recruit
just
for
didn't
him.
notice that, but let's go to the next game. Burks is being a little feisty tonight, but
He's a tired
Fiesta
boy.
Oklahoma State, Mississippi State wins off a game-winning interception from Lonnie Burks. Mississippi State is now Texas, but it's still a nice win for the boys. They got their last one before the seniors left. What did you say about both of these teams? Anyone?
Yeah, Lonnie Burks is the father of BRJ. That's all I have to say.
I think it's gonna have to. Well, this was a good game for Mississippi State going into Texas. It's gonna have to prove their defense a lot more with GGC and a lot of the other guys on their defense. I mean, they got to step up next year, and I think they will. I think they have what it takes to step up and be a contender.
My only question and concern for Oklahoma State is they might be retaining some other talent, but the only question is who are they going to bring in to replace BRJ? That man,
The one
at
and
least
only.
from what I've seen,
No one.
man, like they haven't been active enough to even get a quarterback, and that's going to really hurt them considering BRJ was a huge part of their team. An Oklahoma State legend indeed, despite missing out on the Hall of Fame.
I think it hurts Oklahoma more than Oklahoma State, to be honest. Like, Oklahoma State is usually a big win to have on their schedule, considering the Big 12. Texas is their only competition now. Am I not wrong?
You're right.
And having a weaker Oklahoma State team is really going to hurt Oklahoma's strength of schedule in future years, to be honest.
Yeah, Oklahoma State loses a lot of their star power with BRJ, Gabriel Molotov, who used to be a Heisman runner. He never was a finalist, but he was in the race before in his freshman year. And Tully Gilden at receiver. Those three are definitely going to be huge for Oklahoma State to miss. But I don't know. Hopefully, Mr. Braylon Smith, the coach at Oklahoma State, can make something happen. Who knows? All right, let's head on to our final 4 teams that made the playoff. Let's go with the Sugar Bowl first.
Oh boy.
Florida versus Northwestern. Northwestern gets a big win against the Gators in a defensive battle, 20-7. What's the future for both of these teams going into the next year?
Well, Florida, didn't they just get Uli Frez Jr. as a
They
transfer,
did.
correct? That is massive for their offense, as their receiving core is going to take a massive leap forward, as it was mostly freshman and sophomore, and they're going to be more experienced in the coming years. Sammy Cooper is going to be a senior next year.
He's going to be that senior leader.
He's going to be that senior leader. And those defensive starters, a bunch of those are freshmen. They take another leap forward. They might be graduating some players, Sire Bridges, Zoe Goldman. Najee Fox, a bunch of players in the secondary, but I think those young defenders can hold down the
Yeah,
fort next year.
Mayfield, Savage, and Polar should definitely just need to step up for them. But they're gonna be young. They should be good though. They always are. And what about Northwestern? Anybody?
I think the main thing is with I don't know who they picked up at running back. For
Has that
North,
guy Affinity,
Infinity, yeah,
5-star,
star.
in-season recruit.
but I think the main play for their offense is going to be the play of Mr. Blackman, CJ Blackman. If he has another season like he did this season, I think Northwestern ends up being another playoff contender team. For real,
Yeah,
like
they got
they
Malik
are going to go insane.
Savage, so their team looks pretty unreal right now. They're pretty good. They're really, really good. The tight ends are great. So their receiving core doesn't look the greatest, but CJ Blackman plus Dragon Ridley and Sammy Stevenson at tight end really help that offense. And then Hezekiah Finnerty should definitely help balance the team a little bit. It should be a good replacement for
Plus,
Marcus
that
Hill.
suffocating defense is back for another year.
Yeah, they're even better too. They got Pablo Macias and Jesse Taylor from Wake Forest. Although they did lose their 3 big defensive linemen guys, but their linebacking core is really, really good. And the DBs are gonna take a little bit of a hit, but Sasa, Walton Callaway should be good enough to lock down any number 1 receiver in the league.
Let's
He
just say
didn't
the
lock
Big
down
Ten
Hardy,
is going
though.
to be fun to watch next season.
As a freshman, yeah, the Big Ten should be really, really good actually. Now that you say that, because you might think, oh, it's just Northwestern and Penn State. No, you got teams like Michigan, Wisconsin, and Minnesota. Even Michigan
Didn't
State.
realize that.
They're
Yeah,
all
this conference is deep. This conference is deep.
I think Big
Even
Ten is
Iowa
gonna be
has 3
next year.
players.
a lot of those teams are young and they have the players that are going to go and
Should
do
be fun to watch, and it's gonna, one of those really good teams is gonna lose 4 games, and that's what's gonna happen. That's what happens when you have really good competition. So, if you're that team that
Tennessee
loses 4
type beat.
games, kind of, but if you're that team that loses 4 games, don't get your hopes up. Let's go to the Rose Bowl. Number 1 Oklahoma beats number 4 Washington, the Cinderella team. They won 49-24. Washington never really had a chance to win, but what do you guys think about
It's
the
good.
future of both teams?
Well, Washington, basically a team of all freshmen, and one sophomore.
Yeah,
They had a
Mahoney
senior,
being
was a freshman,
a senior.
correct?
Javon Singletary was like their only
Yeah.
upperclassman.
Partrees
So Partree's
And
gonna be back. He had an unreal year. What do you have? 45 touchdowns, over 4,000 yards. Kind of nuts.
45 touchdown, yeah.
He's going
That's
into his sophomore
absurd for a
season,
freshman.
correct?
Yes.
Yes, he's going to sophomore
Good.
season.
I think it's good experience for the Washington Huskies.
Plus, Washington adds 5-star safety Dexter Simmons for their young defense, and
I think
I honestly think, but I think they're going to take a step back, and a newly improved Pac-12. Cal and USC are only getting better.
no,
Agreed.
I think
Who knows?
Washington might be able to maintain this, and the main reason why was in this game we see one of the greatest quarterbacks defeat one of the best up and coming ones, and I think that can just be a great passing of the torch moment for Washington, especially for David Partrees, to have a QB come in and do that for them. Like,
I mean,
that's a
how
passing
many
the torch
players does
moment, in my
Washington
opinion.
have? 7?
Probably around there. All right, what about Oklahoma? What
Well,
do we see for them next year? Because,
well, it's going to be a passing of the torch moment, sort of like what Q said, but it's for the younger players, like Devontae Hardy to Russ Armstrong and Kayvon Battle. Jabril King to Elijah Watson Jr. Xavier Watts going to be the star of the show basically now.
No,
That'll be interesting.
I think Kayvon Battle will definitely need to be that guy. He needs to be the guy. He needs to fill in for Hardy's shoes and dominate. He had a really great season this year. He was a first-team All-American. I mean, it can't be that hard to be that great when you have those weapons around you. Someone's got to be open. But Battle's a great receiver. He was good at LSU, and Oklahoma's just been the perfect fit for him. And let's see if Watson can get him the ball, because it should be interesting to see, because the offense is going to definitely be a lot younger, as Battle will probably be the only senior on the offense. And what about that defense? What do you guys think about their defense?
Well,
Burks.
they have a good defense. They didn't graduate that many players on defense, did they? Am I correct?
Castillo,
He was a transfer.
and another linebacker,
Marcus
and Carter
Johnson.
Johnson, and I think Tony Rose is transferring, and then their two other corners. So yeah, they just have Khalil White at corner, and I think they got some freshmen, but haven't really looked. Their
They'll be
defense,
youngish.
their defense is a lot better than everyone would say they
It's
were.
above average.
As
It's
it
not
showed
top
as
tier,
they
but
won the national championship, because
They-
Rayshawn Meisel is a great defensive lineman. As everyone
You said
thinks
he was
he's
a
like
bust.
underrated. I did say he was a bust. He's definitely not lived up to the number 1 recruit or number 2 recruit, but he's a great defensive lineman. He's still developing. He's a junior right now. He's like a 95 overall, but he's a good player. He's a good player.
Oklahoma
And
has
then
some ballers on the deep. You got
Lamont
Hezekiah Barnett.
James, Hezekiah Barnett, and Mark Castillo were 3 really great linebackers. And their DBs were not bad either. Their DBs were
Dante
good.
Stoops.
Dontrell Stoops is a good safety. They have good players. Oklahoma versus Texas should be a really good game next year.
Definitely.
And then let's go to the national championship. 14-0 Northwestern versus 14-0 Oklahoma. As we know, Devontae Hardy, Burks, Sasa, the freshman, Walton Callaway, and Oklahoma wins it. What was the score?
It was what was the
30.
score?
Wait, hold up. It was
BRJ never
It was
mentioned
34
I didn't even
to
post the score.
27.
It was
34-27.
33.
34-28. 33-28.
Was it?
Yeah.
Yep, 33-28.
Oh yeah, because
Missed
you're
that
right.
2 point.
I was looking at Northwestern score.
You good?
Yeah.
So
Great game. Absolutely
good
great game.
game. Both teams. I don't know. I really wanted. I don't know. It was sorry. It was a tough game for me to script because both teams were well deserving of winning it all, definitely. But I just thought the
think
Jabril King, that
performed.
that Oklahoma offense was just way too good to have lose.
Think about- I think both Heisman candidates, Jabril King stepped up. Deshaun Madison shrinked. I mean, Deshaun Madison.
You're blacking out.
Deshaun Madison shrunk in the spotlight, while Jabril King shined in the spotlight. That's what I
I
thought.
thought Madison
Yeah.
played a fine game.
He had more interceptions than touchdowns. He did not perform well when the lights were bright. He had 2 What do you have?
No, he had-
interception?
He had more interceptions than passing touchdowns. He had 2 touchdowns, 1 on the ground, 1 passing, and he had 2 interceptions. Yeah.
Yeah,
He had a passing touchdown early in the 4th, and he had a rushing
a
touchdown
rush in the fourth.
later in the 4th. Yep.
And then after Oklahoma scored, he threw a pick on the last drive of the game.
Yep.
Can't be doing that.
I think both teams played a great game. Both teams could be right back in this game next year. Who knows? Wouldn't be surprised, honestly.
The thing
And
is,
the
thing is, Northwestern could have won this game. In all honesty, they had 3 turnovers, a Marcus Hill fumble,
and
and
2
2
picks.
picks.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh,
could've won
4
this game
actually,
if they
because
would've
then Oliviera fumbled too, the receiver.
Oh, that's right. Yep.
So they had 4 turnovers. Yeah, that
think
probably
two of
really
those-
killed the game.
Yep. 2 of those were
Oklahoma
touchdowns.
had only 1 turnover, I believe.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
they
it was
also
a
missed,
fumble.
and they also missed an 18-yard field goal. So that's
Throwback
basically a
to
turnover.
Cincinnati, Oklahoma.
All right, let's go to the Heisman. As Jabril King won the Heisman over his teammate Devontae Hardy, Lonnie Burks, the safety from Miss State, quarterbacks Javon Honda Vagan and Deshaun Madison of Arkansas and Northwestern, respectively. Do you guys think King deserved the award? I think
No.
100%. We can all agree. Okay,
No.
Mr. Burks, we all know Lonnie Burks should have won it, even though he was on a New Year's Six team. Like
I kind of find it ridiculous how it's become a quarterback award.
It's a quarterback award. Has it become a quarterback award?
Yes, I've kept my
Oh,
silence
yeah.
about this pretty much. I'm been ultra mad over this, but I kind of am, because people just
Did-
vote for the best quarterback at this point. It's kind of ridiculous.
That's why Lonnie and Hardy had more votes than Honda
mean-
Vagan and Madison.
I mean,
Because
that's tough because King
the
almost had You go ahead.
Jabril's already won the Heisman. Why give him to him twice?
Because he
He's
almost
gonna
had
put up
600.
stats.
he deserved it.
Empty
He deserved
stats.
it.
They're
He had
empty
almost
stats.
6,000 total yards.
So what? He plays in the best. He has the best weapons in be a player. ever. Tell me that.
Is
Does
that
he
his
not?
fault?
I mean, he puts up empty stats. I mean, I'm just saying.
You put up empty stats on a team that won the title.
Yeah, who
Don't
he play
fault
in the
them.
regular season?
Don't fault him for Texas. He played Texas.
Texas. We weren't that good. Come on.
Oh wait, he also beat Washington and Northwestern. That's crazy.
Yeah, Washington is overrated. They played no one.
Hot take after hot take. Okay, what's
These aren't hot takes. This is the truth.
Does everyone else agree that King deserved the award?
He
I
did not
think
deserve it. I deserve it.
Q.
I mean,
Whatever.
I personally was leaning a bit more to Devontae Hardy than Jabril King, but just one of those two dudes on Oklahoma deserved it.
Devontae deserved it more
Agreed.
than Devontae deserved it last year, but
I
a
will
certain
say-
someone didn't think so.
I will say that I did have Burks at 2. It was a tough battle for me to choose, in all honesty.
Okay, interesting. Let's go to the Hall of Fame. We had
Six-
one of the most stacked Hall of Fame classes in the
One of the
history
most,
of
yeah.
this league. Definitely in the
Currently.
past decade, it's been the most stacked. But that's what happens when you reset, and the guys are stars for 4 years. So there's a reason behind that. Do you think anybody on the list that's there does not deserve to be there? Anyone?
I used to think D'Angelo Waiters, but he put up some incredible stats at Tennessee, so he's well deserving of it.
He was pretty close to breaking Darius Banks' Tennessee records.
That's true, and I think D'Angelo's well deserving of it. You
I
could make a case for Cheely,
you
but
changed your mind. I think there's a big case for George King. Because I think King had more yards than Waiters.
I wouldn't put 3 receivers in there though. I just
But
wouldn't.
I think King just his impact on Arkansas and on BAP in general, because he put Arkansas on the map. He did.
I think Waiters put Tennessee more on the map than Arkansas.
But
then
Tennessee's
again,
already been
Arkansas
a
had
little
more
bit of an
success.
established team. Yeah, and
Right.
Arkansas was better. So King could definitely make it next year. There's nothing that says, oh, just because you didn't make it the year you graduated doesn't mean you can't make it. As there's been a couple players that have made it years after I realized, oh, wait, this guy kind of deserves to make it to the Hall of Fame. So I think George King is the biggest snub. Cheely, you could say, could be snubbed. But he only won 1 award. It's kind of like saying, oh, Antrell Lawrence should be in there.
Yeah,
I don't. Antrell Lawrence was a great player. Don't get me wrong.
he was
but
really
does
good
he
his
deserve to be in
junior
there?
and senior year more though. He was a late.
He
bloomer.
was. But I don't think he ever got more than 10 sacks, maybe.
Yeah, you're right. He had 10.5. Yeah, 10.5.
Maybe. Fitzgerald was pretty consistent his
He was
sophomore
super
senior year if you looked at the stats. So I just had
Kind
to
of peaked
put
his
him on
sophomore
there.
year though. No cap.
I will say
The reason why Fitzgerald and because Jamila, his best season was his sophomore year too when he won the Heisman, and that Alabama team was just really good.
I'm
Those
surprised they
two
didn't make the
carried
playoff
that
that
team.
year.
Those two carried that team, and I think
They didn't make
Fitzgerald
Knight Jr.
was
that
a
year,
game
did they?
changer.
Didn't they have Nick Knight?
They
Jr.
what?
That year? Didn't they have Nick Knight that year?
Yeah, that might have been his freshman year. Yes.
Yeah. Man, that was a good That was a good team. I don't know how that team fell apart. I don't even know how.
What did they lose in the first round? Wait, they lost
They
to
did-
Miami.
They made the playoff? Oh yeah, they did. They did make the playoff. I forgot
Yeah, they
about
lost
that.
to Miami, 26-20.
Dang,
I
that was
will
a good
say
team.
this: compared to the other defensive players in this class, this Hall of Fame class, Zaire Bridges kind of stands out because he had more interceptions than Lonnie Burks. And
Bro, you corner. Of course he's got more interceptions.
I know, but he only had 100 and something
37
tackles.
tackles.
Because he's a corner.
Yeah. But he was a
Corner.
4-time first-team All-American. So, I mean,
Yeah, he
compared
made
to
it
the
every
other, compared to the other people in the class with better stats, but at the same time, he deserves it. He's a good player.
Well, Sire's the best corner.
I think Sire was consistently locked down every night.
he was.
Yeah,
He locked down
And
he
Devontae
was.
Hardy in the
It shows
championship
as Florida won
year.
2 national championships because he could lock. I'm pretty sure. I mean, he owned Devontae Hardy,
He owned him.
Yeah, he did.
and
put
Devontae
him-
Hardy's the best receiver to ever play. And Hardy barely did much against those Florida teams when they would play in the playoff matchups.
Put him in the jail cell.
Let's see. I can do a really quick.
D'Angelo
Let's see
Waiters
if I
was
can
cooking
find
him,
it.
though, no cap.
D'Angelo Waiters would cook though. I'm not even gonna lie. That's why D'Angelo Williams made the Hall of Fame, man.
That's a good point.
Let's see. The first time Florida and Oklahoma played, um, 4th and 4. He fires to his main man Devontae Hardy, and Sire Bridges gets his hand on it again. Florida knocks the ball away, preserving the win. Hardy had no touchdowns that game against Florida. The second time they played, Hardy had a 7-yard touchdown reception. And I think that was it for him. I think that's just one little 7-yard touchdown. And then the third and last time they play, let's see. I don't see anything yet. I don't think he scored. Dontel Stoops got a. Let's see. The stats are on here. I actually put stats on this. That's crazy. Oklahoma, Dante Hardy, 5 catches, 54 yards, 1 touchdown. 5 catches, 54 yards is pretty locked up for the best receiver we've seen, who averaged over 100 yards every game he played.
It's kind of nuts.
Okay, so did Heisman, did Natty, did NY6, did Hall of Fame. Let's talk about this offseason recruiting a little bit if you want. I don't know. There's not really much to talk about.
There isn't.
We can talk about Winter real quick. Winter made 3 players, and I think he knew what he was doing was wrong, and he got caught, so it's fine. We'll let him be. We'll give him a little.
Wait, who were his 2 other players?
We'll give him a little slap on the wrist, and he just has his 1 player, Dan Big Boy Winter, defensive end, committed to Minnesota. One of the quarterbacks, Darius Kamara Jr., and then I want to say Joe McCarthy Jr., another quarterback. Yeah.
Okay.
So they're both been deleted. They're both gone. It's just gonna be Winter. I think he realized he did wrong and won't do it again. Any other recruits you guys want to talk about? I don't know. You guys can talk about whatever you want.
But I had a DN committed to me, and then he flipped to Cincinnati. Kind of like
That's tough.
No, he
logo means more.
Bro, I was working last night. And I almost got fired because I was pitching this dude for like 2.5 hours on and off. And then at midnight, the dude goes, "Yeah, I'm teaming with somebody else, and he doesn't really like Wisconsin. I'm sorry." That kind of hurt a little bit because I spent 2.5 hours working.
Watson would have been really good at USC. I'm just saying.
I was working my butt off, right? I think I had the same situation. What's it called? The Khalil and Brian. Kirk Bryden.
Yeah, Kirk Bryden.
So I was talking so much with Kirk Bryden by himself, right? And he looked really interested. We were top 2 for him, everything, right? And then he's like, "Oh yeah, I want to team up with Khalil." And I said, "You know what? Fine. I'll pitch Khalil as well. You're my priority because I already got corners on the team and stuff. But I really wanted D linemen. That's all I really wanted this offseason recruiting." And so I went in, I pitched both of them, and they were both really interested in everything. And then out of nowhere, Khalil goes, "Oh yeah, by the way, I hate LSU in real life." And I'm like, "Damn, dude, that's tough." And then Kirk Bryden, literally the night before, he was telling me, he was like, "Oh yeah, I like the prospect going to LSU. It's a prestigious school and stuff." And then his friend suddenly says, "Oh yeah, I don't like LSU," and he's like, "Oh yeah, same." And then they both threw me out of the race. I'm like, "Damn, that's tough."
Bro.
Class really.
Yeah, these recruits can be a little brutal.
Bro, we got snaked. You said the same thing to me.
I don't know. There's not much I really want to talk about with these guys. Navy got 2 recruits. Iowa State got a recruit.
They're all
TCU
they're
got
all
a
first-year guys.
Mo Lester to Memphis. Watch out, AAC.
I just have to say, I'm so happy for Navy because he's been working his butt off. He's been really active, and he
3 recruits actually. Never mind.
He kept striking out on recruits and stuff, and then here on the offseason one, he got a bit more luck. So that's good for him. That's a good thing to see.
How about Iowa? Victor Morris, the defensive tackle.
I'm annoyed about that, man. I was top 3 for that guy all the way through, and here I am.
Iowa defense, man. I don't know. It's weird, but they're getting guys. It's kind of cool. It's cool.
I'm just waiting for Dax Ellington, who was a dude you posted on the BAP headquarters.
All I
page.
remember is that when I didn't get a quarterback one class, my whole class fell apart. But a bunch of these don't even have quarterbacks, and they get in all these defensive players. I wish I was
kind of jealous.
Bro, I need secondary.
It's tough. All right, let's go. what team will rise the most and what team will fall the most?
Okay.
We'll start with
I'll go first if you all want.
Quintero. Yeah, I'll start with Q.
Look, as much as I would love to plug myself, as you know, Burks loves me plug myself, man.
Dude, you plug yourself every time.
Nah, but this time I really have to give it to one of the two Big Ten teams in either Wisconsin or Michigan. Both of them have had insane recruiting classes over the past 3 classes that we had this offseason, which were the in seasons.
Wait,
the
real
high
quick,
school
real
guys.
quick, real quick. Let's not include like brand new teams like Cincinnati. Let's not include them. Okay.
No, I'm not. I'm
Capiche? I'm just saying for everyone.
No, yeah,
Capiche? All right, let's go.
Makes sense.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I really like Wisconsin. Larry Hamburger looks to be, I think, one of the steals, in my opinion. I really, pardon me.
Party nuts.
I really like Larry Hamburger. I pitched him as well. I barely lost out to him to Wisconsin, but that kid looks incredibly special. Wisconsin got a really great one there. They picked up some other dudes. I really enjoyed that. Michigan, there really isn't much else to say. Sure, right now he's going through a lot of speculation, but that guy, you gotta give him credit for a lot of the recruits he was able to bring in and some transfers. Michigan's definitely gonna take a huge step up, and NC State's also gonna take a massive step up with the massive amount of transfers and a couple of the freshmen that they've been bringing in as well. Now, for the largest fallers, I don't think anyone can debate this. It's gonna be the major collapse that Miami's about to go through.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
We can all agree with that.
Poor Miami. All right,
Well,
Hill, you want to name your riser and your faller?
Yeah, I think one of the teams you missed, I think, is going to be Minnesota. I mean, they've had a really good class. They have guys coming. They're a young team. They're a built team.
Humble praise.
I think Minnesota is going to have a really nice jump, as well as some other Big Ten teams. Like Michigan, they were unranked going into, I think, Week 15 or going into the bowl games. So I think they're going to jump big time too. Texas, you're going to see them with Coach Burks leaving. I think Texas is going to be up there in the top 10 as they're getting a lot of Mississippi State guys.
Does that make you sad, Will? Does that make you sad?
What?
Does that make you sad, Will? To, like, hear that everyone's like, "Oh yeah, Texas is gonna be better."
But
I'm sorry. But the thing is,
do you not care? Because like USC is gonna be good too. Like,
yeah, no.
you'd be
Fango's
perfectly
Panda.
fine at
I'm
Texas
just saying.
too. Like, I don't know.
If Burks has, excuse me for the voice crack. If Burks has the same talent level that he had at USC before the simulation, he's going to be fine. He's going to be a top 10.
Is it
team no matter
coincidence
what.
that when I go to USC, Fango says he's coming, but when I told Panda that he's not coming, Fango does not come? No.
Fango's
not
a
good.
beast, bro. Fango's my wide receiver 1. I was gonna take Peters, but he's like, "Oh no, I'm going to Penn State." He's like their wide receiver 3. Like, what is wrong? Whatever.
Wide receiver 4, actually. Zay Walker.
Zay Walker and Collins. Who's the other guy?
I forget there's another guy, too.
Another rise. I think is going
Recruit?
to be Alabama. Alabama's going to rise. They were at
Who's your faller?
Faller, Miami. I think Arkansas will fall a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah, I think they'll fall a little bit. Not too much, but just a little bit. Wake Forest, I think, will fall out of the top 25. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Nobody else really lost too much. Oh, UCLA.
I
Or
was
did they get a
just
new
about to
coach?
say that. That's funny.
Yeah, UCLA.
Jeffries is their coach, but I don't think he's done anything. He'll probably get fired.
Yeah.
Burks, riser, faller.
turn?
Try to
It's my
not
turn?
use the same guys. Maybe. I don't know. Do whatever you
Don't worry,
want.
I'm not going to use the same guy. Biggest riser? It's tough. It's tough. I'm going to have to go with Virginia. They're going to rise.
That's a good
Think
pick.
about
That's a
this.
good pick.
They're not going to, stay. They're too talented to not improve. Without Miami, their competition's NC State and Clemson. I mean, I can honestly see him going undefeated. I could see him going 10-2 again. You know, it depends.
It just
They're
really
extremely
depends on who
talented
you're
team.
playing.
Exactly. It depends on the performance of their quarterback.
I think I want to get
to-
some really good non-conference games this year.
I really do. I wish you do. I want you to do the Chick-fil-A kickoff games. That would be cool.
Okay, we'll do that. We'll see. We'll see what I
And
can
anyway, biggest faller, Washington. Just improve Pac-12. I mean, their
do. You think
record
they'll
was
fall that far down? Like, What's your fall? Like, what's falling to you?
10-2, 9-3.
Okay, that's not that big of a fall, but I can see what you're saying.
Their record yesterday was a perfect storm of talent, a byproduct of the talent they have in their conference, their talent they have, and a little luck with teams losing. And yeah, they're gonna fall, but not that big. They'll be fine.
All right, my risers are the SEC in general and the Big Ten in general. The SEC's improved so much this just off season, I guess you could say, with LSU and Coach Quintero getting in there and building up that program. They could be a top 10 team this year. Who knows? They have a lot of talent coming in. Alabama had a really great recruiting class. They could be a top 10 team. Who knows? Georgia's even gotten better. Who would have thought Cooper would get some recruits? But he did, including a
gotten
5-star
2.
running back in Ringo Maximus. That's got a transfer, but they could be a solid team. Mizzou's a good team. They're getting more experience. Tennessee's gonna fall off a little bit, but at least they have a coach that
I thought
is
Coach
actually
Ellis was leaving.
trying. Ellis is back apparently. He found a new love for BAP, is what he told me. And Mississippi State, they'll fall a little bit, but Coach Kelly will get them back on track. Arkansas is good. Am I missing a team? I'm forgetting something. Florida is going to be really good, of course. Is there another West team I'm forgetting?
Texas
Texas
A&M.
A&M, maybe they'll be okay. Can Ole Piss get a recruit? Who knows if Coach Peters got it in him?
Peters washed.
Shout out Andrews though.
Washed.
Andrew, he stepped in on the Texas A&M job really late, and he's gotten a couple dudes, so that's good work.
Yeah, that's good. And then the Big Ten, Northwestern, Penn State are still the contenders, but Minnesota, Wisconsin, Michigan, like we said before, all will be in the hunt. Bro. Don't sleep on any of those teams. Michigan
Shout out Shaq
State.
for getting as a recruit after a couple seasons.
Watch out. Michigan State ended the season really greatly, so beating Georgia 35-24 in the Pinstripe Bowl. Ohio State. I don't know if they'll be okay this year. I don't know if
They got
Jackson
Jackson
Davis is gonna
Davis.
play this year. I don't know. I think they're gonna redshirt him. And then Nebraska still has a team, so they'll be there. Maryland still has a team, so they'll be there.
Gonzalez.
No, he's not Nebraska anymore. It's Mayfield, I think.
Oh man,
Gonzalez is like Memphis now.
interesting.
Interesting indeed.
Y'all remember we got Jimmy Witten? Then he decommitted.
That's funny. So those are my risers, and my fallers are the ACC. ACC is pretty Virginia. I guess just Miami. Unfortunately, not to be biased, but I think we all know, we can all face reality that Miami is going to fall off.
What about the
But
Big
it's
12?
okay. I think their coaches can help out. I think the Big 12's fine. I don't think we fell off. Oklahoma State probably fell off a little bit. But West
We
Virginia's
need
coming
more
in.
teams in the
They've
Big
got
12.
some recruits. They got West Virginia. West Virginia's got some guys.
Obiago's improving.
Very quietly, but he's been doing a good job.
I think there's another Big 12 team. Maybe not.
Texas
Let me
Tech.
look.
TCU got a
TCU.
quarterback. They got a quarterback. That's good for them.
What conference is Iowa State in?
Big 12.
Big 12.
They got Horowitz. Horowitz is good.
And Lee Tate, their running back. I think they have someone else, but maybe not. That's a good young coach. I like that. I like Iowa State. It's cool to have a new team. They've never been in BAT before, so that's cool.
You mentioned
We've
Boston
kind of done
College.
this a lot early. We've done this a lot quicker than I thought we would. So, Quintero, you could talk about basketball, BAT B-ball if you want, real quick, while we think about some other ideas.
Okay, yeah, basically, he'll hit me up early, and it made me laugh. He's like, "So, do I have to recruit all in one day, or am I gonna have a decent recruiting window?" I said, "Well, I'm gonna give y'all the window. It just depends how quickly some of these dudes recruit." But BAP Basketball, yeah, I'm bringing it back. I really, really enjoy it. You guys, those who know me, I like running leagues. I like running basketball leagues, and it's something that I actually understand. And for me, I thought it was really cool to have this opportunity that BRJ was giving me. And yeah, I think it's just a really good thing I can do. Definitely join up if you're a guy who's already in. Be a player. Help a brother out. Like join up on the team. Join up on it. Like for example, if you make one of your dudes coming in, man. What's it called? What the hell was I saying? I keep forgetting. It's really late. I'm recording this almost at 1 in the morning. But yeah, if you make a guy who's already in BAP football, you can definitely bring him in to BAP basketball. You know, like a dual athlete, and I thought that would just be really cool and really interesting. And yeah, as always, make a guy. We really want to bring it in. I want some of these teams who own a football team also to own the same collegiate team in basketball, just so we can have some continuity, especially because if a guy commits to, let's say, Iowa in basketball and he has that same guy in football, then he would have to play in Iowa as well in football. So I think that could be a pretty cool thing.
I agree. That could be really interesting. It's just we gotta make sure like the timing works and it's organized so it's not like mayhem. But I think me and you can definitely make that work. I don't think you're definitely one of the smarter basketball owners I've seen on the app called Instagram. So we could see how this works.
Yeah.
Hey, give him some good names because I don't know if y'all can beat Zadarius Barrios Hill. So yeah, give him some good names.
Nothing inappropriate, please. I'm not trying to pull up and be like, yo, so Hugh Jazz,
Oh,
Hugh
Ligma.
up right
Yeah.
here. Mr. Hugh Janus, he out here balling on. You got Hugh Jazz covering Hugh Janus right here. Game headed to the buzzer. Definitely something I want to
I
commentate.
hate when we have names like that. I try not to let people do that. But I let Mo Lester in, so
This is the way
Papa
he
Beats.
spelled it. It's not Mo Lester. It's Mo Lester.
Oh, le-
Like, it's the A. Definitely something I enjoy.
Ligma Balls hits a half court shot to win the game. National championship.
Ligman,
all right.
Ligman Balls puts a facial on Hugh Janus.
Okay. Um, let's talk about coaching changes real quick, and we'll end the episode. Doesn't need to be too long, so. Let's think. The biggest coaching changes for next season, we have myself going to Texas, Burks going to USC. Both those teams are already like established teams, though, so it's not that big of a deal. But what about Coach Peters going to Ole Miss? His quote unquote home, even though he's a Miami boy actually, but it's his home. So I'm not really sure what that means, but it should be interesting to see if he can actually get a recruit before quitting Ole Miss. What's your over under? How many recruits does Peters get? Over under 2.
Zero. This is
Uh,
basically Raz to
Who you
Syracuse.
take the
For
over or
next-
the under?
For next season, like if we're doing in season again for next season or like
Just like how many
for
think he'll get like next season? Yeah, next season.
He's getting
under? Honestly,
Under less than 2.
I don't-
Okay.
because you got to remember in real life with old Mrs. scandals and stuff, they couldn't pitch at all. So what are you gonna work on in BAP? The same thing. You know what I
They
mean?
some wavy
Rebel
player
Zone,
picks,
you try
though.
to make Rebel Zone make a player, man. That's
Rebel
so
Zone
sad.
actually never owned Ole Miss except for like a
Nope.
week,
He,
and then
he owned
quit.
Florida.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, because you can't recruit with Ole Miss, but it's okay. We'll see. I hope Peters proves us all wrong. I hope he does. Coach Kelly of UCLA, who led that team to a New Year's Six bowl, is going to Mississippi State, where he was offensive coordinator, and he has 2 recruits already in the offseason.
He has 3.
So
actually.
I think, 3. Dang, that's better than I thought. I think he's gonna do good there. I honestly think he will.
It's honestly
I like
just
what he
how.
Time will
It's
tell.
honestly
Yeah,
just how
It's
he
hard to lead a
recruits.
team to a New Year's
I'm-
Six bowl first year. It's impressive.
agreed. Even though you could say, "Oh, he's Pac-12," he still did it. You can't.
He got it over Cal.
Gotta give him props. DeAndre Wright to Auburn. He has 2 recruits so far in the offseason. What do you guys think about Mr. Wright, the GOAT?
I still think he should have stayed at Oregon. I just find it so stupid why he
I
left.
find it so stupid too. He's an Oregon fan.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense to me.
Oh,
'Cause he had-
what do you guys? Oh, keep
He
going.
literally could have had Partreese. He had Partreese committed.
The thing
You
is,
know how
is
insane that would have
he
been?
whooped on everybody every year except for the one time that I beat him with USC in
What
the
a
regular
guy.
season. He whooped up every
Best
single
coach.
every single team.
Yeah, he
He
did.
kind of bummed me with USC. No cap.
What about
Ruined my legacy.
What was I gonna say? I was literally just about to say something. Shoot. We can talk about the new Miami coaches. They got a quarterback, Draco O'Leary, Draco,
That's a cool
Walker,
name.
Pez, and King.
This is basically player.
Can
GM.
they succeed?
No,
No,
it's not.
I don't
no
I
chance.
don't
You just
know.
give them no chance.
No chance. Yeah. No
I think
chance.
I think they'll have a decent team, but I don't think what Peters did at Miami was special. You can't just do that
He went
overnight
to
like
one
he did.
playoff. Come on, man.
I mean,
Peters made
he still had a good team
two?
though. He had two, I think.
No, he went to one playoff.
Wait,
Let me
hold
look.
on. No,
I'm on
you're
the I'm on the
tripping,
website.
dude.
I'm on the website. Let me look.
He made two.
2 playoffs.
No, he
Did
made
he ever
one.
win?
Dang, you're
Yeah,
right.
Oregon. No, he made two. He made
He won.
37, 38, and 35,
No.
36. Yeah. He was the 3 seed in 37, 38. Oh wait, no, my bad. I'm looking at Oregon.
No,
Yeah.
36, 37.
Miami,
He was
my
three.
bad.
He was
Yeah.
2 seed.
Yeah,
He's only made the
30,
playoff once.
37. You're right.
Yeah, I
Overrated.
think that's tough. That's tough.
I still had Oregon on my mind. My bad, boys.
Man, that man, Peters always gets so emotional when they would lose. That's sad.
It's not me, boys.
That's okay. That's
It's
my
not
dog.
me.
That's
I'm gonna
my-
quit.
That's the
I'm
dog.
gonna
That's
quit.
the dog. That's the dog. That's the dog. No hate. No hate.
Yeah, no way.
That's my quarterback.
That's my quarterback. Dude, he snaked Felipe Goat, though.
After every big game, he'd be like, "I'm quitting."
It's funny. It's so sad, but
In Ghost Chat, I quit.
Boston College is now Duke. That's who cares? I guess I don't know.
Wasn't he
he's
Pittsburgh?
gonna have a harder time recruiting.
I don't know. I don't know. He just I don't get
He's
him.
Jalen Jones.
He's not. Jalen Jones is dead.
He has. No, he's not. Jalen Jones.
So
is
is Wake Forest just gonna chill there? Like, is he just retired? He's just gonna
I
leave
think
his
so.
account. Like,
That's
that's
quite-
kind of sad.
I feel so bad for him. He had such a good team there.
That's why I said that they were gonna be a big faller because he just kind of
Yeah.
Jarrell Powers, Jesse Taylor, Tank Murdoch, CJ.
And they pretty much all went to Northwestern to improve
No,
that
only a
defense.
few of them did.
3 of them.
But still, they're still gonna have a better defense with that.
Demar's good.
DeMar's going to Clemson to be wide receiver 3. Murdoch's going to
Interesting.
Michigan. I think he'll be good there.
Yeah, he was good at Wake Forest.
Who's another one? Powers went to Cal.
Yeah,
I
we
hate
talked
every-
about that before.
I hate every time someone says Michigan or Minnesota. Somebody went there because it's like they're getting recruits all the time.
I don't know what they're doing to get so many dudes.
It should be interesting. Oh, we should talk about the American Conference real quick. Just real quick. It's not too much to talk about, but
Molesta?
Molesta to Memphis. So, breaking news real quick. Mr. Randall Handel Jr. will actually be transferring to Tulane.
What?
What?
For his senior year, he's going to Tulane.
That man is such a bust. He was so bad.
And then we have so far this season for the AAC next year they have a UCF, a USF, Eastern Carolina, Memphis, Cincinnati, Tulane, Army, and a Navy. So there should be some teams. I think Navy could give Cincinnati some trouble.
I think USF has a higher ceiling than.
USF has some good players too. I like UCF, USF, Cincinnati, and Navy look like the 4 best teams right now in that conference.
Will the AAC have an auto bid to NYC or no?
Yeah, I think I'll do that. Yes,
All right.
just to
These-
give us some
these more
incentive to
enticing.
coach there. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, who knows? If Cincinnati, I'll probably give Cincinnati a good team to play, so they don't
Yeah.
just go 13-0 and
Yeah, give him USC. I want to whoop him.
maybe.
I'll give him my recruits.
I don't know.
Give
I
them
don't know.
Wisco. Give them Wisco.
We'll see because
Man. Burks salty.
they need because
Of
if
course
they
I'm
win that
salty. I'm so
game, if
mad.
they win that game, they could be playoffs. Is what I'm trying.
That's true. It's true.
Could be.
So you gotta watch out for those AAC teams. It should be interesting to see. Hopefully, it develops more as years go on.
Shout out Navy.
This would be cool. Shout out Navy.
Shout out to the
Coop
Navy.
Coleman for Miami.
I mean, that would be a good job for him. He's really been recruiting. The fact that he's been able to get a
I
lot
think
Stop
he
it.
might have wanted
Whoa.
it honestly, but I didn't give it to him.
Types in all caps. Type Pete.
Oh, come on, man.
That's a right 2.0.
No, right? But right's the emojis. He's a big emoji guy.
Oh, we already
Yeah.
we already have a transfer for next season. Garrett Gafford, the Minnesota sophomore cornerback, is transferring to Miami.
Oh,
I think he's a player gym guy, so
Yeah,
he's
he is.
transferring there. But Minnesota has I
Damn,
can
I
see
should hit
why
him
you'd
up.
want to transfer from Minnesota. They've got a lot of incoming talent.
Quay
Secondary.
Jones transfer.
As I've heard that Antonio Waiters might transfer. He was thinking
really?
about it. He was thinking about it. We'll see though.
I think he should.
Just for food for thought. And
That
I
man is a
think
Trojan. Easy.
I think that'll be enough for tonight, Quintero. If you want to conclude us.
Yeah.
Bro, how you guys gonna do this without even waiting? For
Oh, there
Oh,
he is.
Peters.
Shows up.
Shows up
Alright,
at the end.
conclude us.
All right, thank you guys so much for hopping on. As always, it's been your boy Q. As
No,
always,
that's
joined here
cap,
by
bro. This shit just
BRJ,
ended.
joined
What
here
the
by
See ya.
Burks. Peters decides to stop by to say hi, and Hill, thank you so much for joining us. We really needed it. As always, ladies and gentlemen, hopefully you guys have a very safe night. It's 1 a.m. I'm damn tired. I think BRJ and everyone else in the crew is also kind of tired. Best of luck
We're
to
damn
all of
tired.
y'all, baby. Sleep well. Have a great night.
Good night.
Peace.